Good morning, everyone. I want to say a big welcome to you from wherever you are joining us, any part of the world you are joining it this webinar. Um, this is Edu Tribe. What we do is that we help international students from Nigeria to achieve their study abroad dream. We present a bouquet of opportunities to the students. We recruit for many countries, but we realize that there are some countries that are pretty unknown, and most people are not paying attention to the opportunities that are in those countries. So today we have brought to you a very beautiful school in Lithuania, and we have on this Zoom call their representative that will be talking to us about the school and how we can benefit from their offerings. So I want to encourage you to invite your friends and other parents that will be interested in this type of opportunity. So I'm going to hand it over to Inga as she tells us about this beautiful school in Lithuania. Thank you for joining us and welcome. So
Thank,
over to you.
thank you, Bose.
Yeah.
Thank you indeed for organizing this webinar. It's a pleasure to be with you all here today. I hope that we will be able to discuss some issues or questions which you have and just clear your doubts. I hope that my slides and presentation which I prepared will help you to get a broader idea about Lithuania and our university. Which of course, like Bose mentioned, is quite unknown to many people outside of Europe because we are very small countries. So kind of still not very known in a big developing countries like India, China, and all other countries which are much bigger than us. So let's start from us. I'm representative of Alytaus Kolegia. Kolegia is a type of college or so-called University of Applied Sciences in Southern Lithuania. We are the only university in Southern Lithuania and basically cater to the needs of the students from our city, from the regional cities and smaller towns, as well as other Lithuanians coming from Lithuania or even abroad, because as you know, we have lots of Lithuanians living abroad too, who are willing to go back to Lithuania after a certain time of years staying abroad. We started intaking foreigner students like approximately around 2015-16. That was quite a challenge for us. Like Bose mentioned, that first of all, because we needed to implement the programs which we had, at least some of them, to be taught in English language. We had to, of course, prepare culturally. We had to kind of think about different techniques. How will we integrate foreigners into our society? Because Alytaus is really very small city. And back in those times, we actually did not have any foreigners. It was basically all Lithuanian population. So my colleagues who were working here in international office before me have actually done tremendous job when marketing such a small city and our university, and we're able to actually take in quite many foreigners, and especially we had lots of students from Nepal, India, Nigeria, some from Congo and Cameroon. And right now, the biggest numbers which we have are from Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan. Those students basically make the majority of our foreigner students, but Nigerians were always a very big part of it. And only last year, because of COVID, we somehow did not or could not have any Nigerian in our university due to all the restriction we faced. But we hope that this year we will be able to have good students again and increase the diversity of our university. So looking at this picture, you can see that this is our campus, the main campus, which is actually situated in a very beautiful place in Alytaus. It's very close to the river Nemunas, the biggest river in Lithuania. So the view when you are studying or sitting in the classroom is honestly very, very beautiful. It's in a lush greenery because city, you can say that Alytaus is actually the most green, the most eco-friendly city in Lithuania. So that's a very big plus for those students who enjoy peace, who like to get things done very fast, who are tired of traffic, and we basically just want to walk around, don't want to stand in the lines anymore, and kind of enjoy their 3 years of studies with us in a very smooth way. We have only 50,000 people population in Alytaus. So basically you can see we are here, we are in the very south of Lithuania. Very, very good geographical location, I would say, because we are very close to, I'm sorry, my mouse is moving. We are very close to the capital city, Vilnius. You can reach Vilnius in 1.5 hours by bus, approximately by road, basically, because the roads are extremely good. There's no traffic, so we do not use any other mode of transport. It would be bus or cars. And we are very, very close to Poland. Poland is like basically we're like a gateway to other European countries because it's very easy to reach Poland. It's just 40-50 kilometers away. And Germany, just very close after Poland, you would see Germany. So we have like a very big industrial companies in our city due to this geographical location too, because it's very easy to commute and do business with other countries. That's the reason for it. Also, we are our young city. It's just now we have celebrated our birthday, so 645 years old city. Small, you can basically walk from one place to another. If you want, you can use electric scooters, or you can go by bicycle, or you can take local public bus. Buses are very good. We are, I would say, quite cheap compared to other European countries, especially for students, because you have like good discounts on public transport. So it's always good to just hop on the bus and go from one place to the other if you don't want to walk. So we would have, like, for example, 2 campuses. One would be like in this kind of more suburb area of the city, the other in the city center. If you are going for IT kind of studies, you would spend most of your time in the city center faculty. If you are going for medical studies, let's say, then you would be sitting more or less with me here in this green area, and spending most of your time here in the older campus. But ideally, you can walk from one faculty to another in about like 20 minutes. So it's not far. It's really not far. Our Nigerian students usually just take this, they rent, there is a like kind of taxi you have. We have electric scooters. You can just rent an electric scooty and go from one place to another. Here you can see some pictures from our city. So it would be small, but they say that the most beautiful, the most organized, the most kind of developed city in the country, and very, very popular for trees and oxygen. I think we have the cleanest air so far because we have lots of forests and pine trees. You can see it will be all in the trees. It will be all very green. And that's why, especially for nursing students, there are lots of rehab centers in nearby cities due to this greenery and oxygen and lots of good quality of natural mineral waters. This year, Alytaus is actually the cultural capital too of Lithuania. So lots of events in summer are happening, lots of cultural events like Japanese days, Lithuanian cultural days, medieval festivals and whatnot. So the ones who are already here will actually be enjoying the summer a lot. Speaking about us again, these are the 2 faculties. So just like mentioned, this is our faculty, the older one where I sit, where our management usually works. This is our city center faculty, where most of the IT and engineering students study. So if you like kind of city life, you will enjoy here too. If you like more like peace and quiet, you will enjoy here. But anyways, we don't have noise or traffic anywhere in the city, so I think it's more or less the same. The hostel will be just next to this faculty, so it's like 2 minutes walk to this faculty, very nearby. Most of our students just come for urgent matters at ease because it's not far. The programs which we have, so these are just general programs. Some of them you can see are in English. Ideally, we have quite many programs, but we are not able to offer them in English due to lots of kind of policies, and we need to find the staff speaking in English. So that's why at the moment we thought that the most popular programs for foreigner students would be technologies of information system, multimedia and visual communication, business management, nursing, transport, and logistics business. The biggest numbers we get for technologies of information systems and nursing. Why not business management? We used to get a lot of students for business management, but during the years of experience, we simply noticed that it is easier for students to get visa if they apply for, let's say, more difficult course, especially if you come from African or Asian region. That's why, for example, if we see that the student is little elder, but he's applying for professional bachelor degrees and he shows interest only in business management specifically, we would always interview and ask what are the main reasons, and is he sure to go for business management, or would he rather go for more tough studies just to increase the chance of receiving visa? So this is just one small aspect which we noticed from our experience. It does not mean that you should not apply for business management. It's just kind of that we notice that it is easier to get visa for more tough courses rather than business management. Business management in Lithuania is considered to be easy studies. So I guess that's why it is more difficult for foreigner studies to get visa. I would like to just note that we offer professional bachelor degree studies. We do not have masters or PhD, so we focus only on professional bachelor degree studies. And there is a slight difference between BSc and BA when we speak about professional bachelor degree. This means that our studies are shorter. It is 3 years long in comparison to 4 years long studies of BSc and the BA studies. And nursing would be 3.5 years long study program. In some cases, if you want to go for master degrees later, some universities might ask you to do bridging course because it's shorter course, but not necessary. Some of them will not ask for anything. Some will, for example, add more subjects or courses for you to just gain those extra credits, because when you finish 3 years of studies, you gain less credits compared to 4 years. So, so far, we did not have any kind of situation where the student could not go for master degrees, studies. We just know that universities add extra subjects for them to study during their master degree studies. What are we famous about is our regional technology center. Basically, we are the technology center for the region of Alytaus. We have a variety of labs, engineering labs, technology labs, and very, very famous thing about us is that we have our own renewable energy plant. So we show a lot of interest into ecological ways of living, and we try to perform researches and develop ways how to get the energy from the nature to be more sustainable, let's say. And we have our own wind, solar, and geothermal energy, which actually supplies electricity and heats the water for complete campus of our university. So we are kind of very, very proud that we are independent and we have achieved this goal on our own, and we have built this plant and this technological center which supplies energy to us. So we are more clean energy focused rather than using just other sources like oil and so on and so forth. We have medical labs, we have different STEM labs also for kids. We have physics and mechatronics and some other labs. And speaking about STEM lab, it is kind of very popular because it is an open access center. It's open access lab. So we invite school children from different schools, not only in Alytaus, but regions. We can simply book a free date and come for a day in our university and explore different methods of labs. So some of them, for example, will show interest into physics. So we will go into physics room, some into chemistry or biology. So we will go into, for example, this lab to perform different kind of testings. Let's say how to measure glucose or sugar, how to define what type of sugar was used and so on. Others will go into like food technology lab where kids can kind of perform different kind of experiments on foods, and we create, for example, chocolates together with our teacher, or they learn how to make different kind of food, how to serve, how to use machines. So we have new technology to make lyophilized fruits. Lyophilized, it's a new technology, the most healthy technology where berries and fruits are being quickly frozen and dried up. And that kind of action saves all the vitamins and preserve freshness of the fruit. So when you eat, it's not liquidy, it tastes just like fresh. So we have that kind of technology too. We have our Junior IT Specialist Academy, where small kids also can go and learn different coding programs, different like virtual kind of like experience virtual reality with this virtual 3D glasses, 5D glasses, and sorry, 5G glasses. And mostly it is for school children. They learn Scratch coding, like those early coding programs. And later we could possibly just see if we are interested in IT at all and choose their further field of studies accordingly. Speaking about our STEM laboratories, I forgot to mention that it's not actually only for children. Some elder people can also come and develop the professional skills. So we have, for example, elder women coming and learning special cooking techniques, and later even going into that cooking kind of or food technology job. So it is also kind of related to their professional enhancement. The other thing, we are very famous and we are the only one in Lithuania. We have our own laser system and laser shows. So we always say that we are the only university which can have laser show at any point of time they want, because we don't have to rent it from anyone. We don't have to buy it. We don't have to ask for permission, because we have it, like we have it our own. So I hope that if someone of you would come, you will actually be part of one of our events where we organize these laser shows in the nights. The great thing also, which our foreigner students enjoy the most, is our Erasmus network, because we really have lots of partners in other countries. And we try to send most of our foreigner students abroad for studying as well as internships. And here you can see some of the countries, like we have our partner universities in Europe as well as in Japan and USA. How does Erasmus work? Basically, when you study with us, you have to show good results of studies and not to have any financial debts, as well as just have good records. And when you have to submit your papers for application, like the documents we tell, which is just some form which you have to fill, and choose the country, where would you like to go from our partner universities. So based on the partner universities, which are kind of focusing on the same field, like if it's IT, we must have IT program too. We give you the options where you could possibly go and enjoy either 5 months or 10 months of studies abroad with our partner university, or 2-month internships with our partner companies. In this way, you kind of explore other countries, you get to know how people in other countries work and study, and you meet new people, you expand your network, you kind of increase your language skills too, and professional skills, of course, and then have possibility to simply become more culturally and professionally versified person and show it in your CV too when looking for the job. So we always encourage our students to go abroad if they want to. Speaking about finances, some of them are just afraid that maybe it's too expensive, but actually there is a scholarship given to you. So there is a certain amount which you get to go abroad, on which you have to survive. So let's say it should be enough for your tickets, for your hostel, and some living expenses. Yes. So if you think that one country, for example, Belgium, is too expensive for you, you can choose Poland, which is quite cheap compared to other countries. So it's all up to you in terms of finances, which country would you like to go to, right? And then we just look at your grades, at your performance, and decide accordingly if you can go or not. We are also members of different international associations, so you can see some of them like BMDA, Eurasia Space. So we try to network and expand not students' kind of skills, but also our network partnerships as well as our professional skills. We also go as personal staff and teachers. We also try to go abroad, either on Erasmus kind of exchange program to participate in different kind of teaching activities or conferences, scientific conferences, and this way to develop their own skills too. So it's not only about the students, we also understand that we have our own weaknesses which require attention, and we also try to become better so that students would enjoy studying with us more. The other question students always have, I think, about the job in Lithuania, like what are the possibilities to work. So we do have our business and community partners. Very honestly, if we are talking about Alytaus, if you want to specifically find a job in Alytaus, you need to know local language. So when you come, it's really advisable to try and start as much as you can to speak Lithuanian, because it will definitely be a very big plus when you want to find a job. If we are speaking about logistics, let's say then Alytaus is very well developed industrial city for logistic kind of jobs, because we have lots of companies which employ multilingual people. Of course, some of them, they will want to know for you to know Lithuanian language. If it is IT field, then usually it is advisable to look for jobs in Vilnius and Kaunas, like big cities, which have lots of international companies in this field. But we always try to guide you and kind of send you the links where you could apply. For example, there is a very big company, Teltonika. We have quite amazing IoT academies. So it would be like not exactly like IT related, but they are a lot into creating different kind of devices like GPS tracking, and we try to employ even freshers and give training. So there are such kind of companies too. Other foreigner students are a lot into starting up business. So if you have kind of good ideas which you think you would be able to implement in Lithuania, or maybe you could take some company to your country and sell something in your country, because I'm sure that there are certain things which would be of interest in your country, and huge possibilities to develop business because you have a very big population. So revenues would be much, much higher. You're always welcome to come and discuss what kind of possibilities and what would you need to start up the business. We will try to help in terms of explaining what are the rules or giving the links where to go and how to do that. Speaking about admission procedure, I think just like Alytaus is so nice and green and simple, we also try to keep the procedure quite simple. We asked to fill online application, just that at the moment we are kind of shifting our website. We are trying to renew, and at the moment online application portal is not working. So you simply need to send documents to me, to my email. And all you need to do is just share your passport copy, preferably legalized school leaving certificates. So for Nigerians, it would be VIACO or NECO, along with PIN or scratch number, because we are advised and even required to verify documents online. So we always just double check that the documents are actually authentic. That's why the PIN number is needed. And additional documents. So additional documents means that every country in Lithuania needs to meet specific requirements. Nigerians must have additional 1 year of education post their school. Usually you will have to submit like proof of that, either in the form of national diploma, bachelor degree, transcripts or something like that, just to prove, which we again have to verify. So one of the new process we ask you to do is simply to ask your university to email us your transcripts from their official email ID, which makes it more kind of authentic, and we don't have to worry too much that it might be falsified. After that, we issue conditional admission letter, and you have to apply for SKVC, foreign qualification checkup. The process is a must. All universities in Lithuania are attached to SKVC government body, which is giving all the directions about admitting foreigner students. And that's why we cannot accept students without their decision. So what they do, basically, they pre-check like very, very carefully your documents, if it's not falsified, and the grades. So if your documents are fine and they don't have any issues, we are ready to issue acceptance letter. When you have to go with your tuition fee payments, hostel fee payments, and proceed with migration procedure. Tuition fee payment, of course, will depend on the chosen program. Most of them are 2,700 euros per year, except for nursing, which is 3,000 euros per year. Accommodation fee, we ask you to pay 750 euros for 10 months. So that means that one room on a shared basis is 75 euros a month. If you want a single room, just to live alone, then you have to pay 105 euros a month. 100 euro application is non-refundable, and it is applicable to all the students. We want the students to pay application in advance. It's our rule, but at times, if there is specific situation, we allow them to first submit an application, and we review the documents, issue conditional offer letter, and allow them to pay later. It happens, but ideally you have to pay application fee before the documents are being reviewed. We have mentioned the deadline there, 1st of August. We do not have specific deadline as such for foreigner students. You can always submit your application. The reason we mention is actually because you need to pass a SKVC process, which takes approximately 1 month, and get your visa documents. That's why you kind of need to keep at least 2 months time in hand when applying with Lithuanian universities, just to be sure that you will be able to get all the documents and visa on time. So ideally, I always say that it's the best if the student applies before the end of May, not later than that, but applications are being accepted throughout the year. Cost of living is another probably thing which students are interested the most, and I think Lithuania is very popular between foreigner students due to this reason too, that it's not too expensive in terms of tuition fees and cost of living. So tuition fees are quite affordable, while living expenses for students are also not too high. Probably the most expensive thing in Lithuania would be food. I think local transport is really cheap. even going from one city to another for students, it would be like at least half of the price, or maybe you would pay like 4 or 5 euros to go to Vilnius. Traveling in public transport for you would be again like 45 cents, I think, per journey. And you should, ideally, if you think that you are traveling very often, you should buy like monthly pass, where you can hop on and hop off with the same ticket as many times as you want per day, and it's quite cheap. And so basically you should not think about, I think, traveling expenses too much, because it's not really very expensive. The most of money would go maybe on food. And of course, if you want to live in a rented kind of apartment, big apartment, then it would be expensive. Otherwise, hostel is really not expensive. 75 euros per person per month is rather cheap, because it includes water and electricity. You don't have to pay separately for anything else. Employment possibilities, it mentions 40 hours. So basically, ideally, bachelor degree students have to or can work only 20 hours a week, because you have more studies. When you go for your master degree studies, you can do full-time job. During summer, during your holidays, usually you are allowed to do full-time job. So it is about part-time job. This is just some photos from our hostel. They are more maybe just after renovations. So we have the pool table, we have like kind of a hall where students come sit, and these sofas are going to be changed now, very honestly, because students do sometimes have parties and like to sit more often. So we thought that it's time to renovate this room, and it's going to be renovated right now. There is a small gym also. There is like different kind of room. This is double shared. So actually it is more for short stay, or we have it for isolation in terms of COVID. If we have student room will look like with two separate beds, two single separate beds on the side. What do we have? Like you will have common kitchens and bathrooms. We have lounges, we have laundry facilities. It is CCTV monitored premises, so it is very safe. Nobody can just enter the hostel. You will have special key where you have to touch the system and the door would open. There is Wi-Fi also, which you can use, and of course alarms. We also try to invite international guest speakers as well as visiting lecturers. So at least once a year, like what we have right now, at least once a year, we would have intensive course by our foreigner professors, like Joe Bulsis. Like right now we had Andrew Herman coming for communication lessons from USA. So you might expect to have some course of, let's say, 1 or 2 weeks intensive course. That means that it will be short, but quite intensive, and you will have to pass exams after that. But really very, very enriching, because the people come from different countries, so they have various knowledge to share with you. Even speaking about career possibilities, and for example, how should you prepare your documents and CVs if you want to find a job better. Those are really nice tricks which they tell, which are new, and I don't know if you are using it already, but speaking about social media, which is very popular, and how to, instead of handing CV, just for example, to hand over your small cards with QR codes towards your Facebook page or LinkedIn page, which is very popular nowadays. And instead of just talking empty, that I can do this and that, you could just prepare like kind of portfolio with the proof documents that you actually do that. Okay, like for example, if you mention that you are organized, that you can manage the time very well. So you could have, for example, Google Calendar printouts just to prove that you actually are good in that. So there are some good tips which you learn from those kind of visiting teachers. We also have a lot of students and international students, or we had before COVID, very honestly, because this COVID was kind of freezing point to everyone everywhere. So we had less, but we always have like international exchange students from Turkey. This year we had our first Japanese student. We were very, very happy, from Kanagawa University, and we had variety of online cultural events with them because, again, because of all the restrictions. So possibility to go to Japan is there too for you and our students if you want to. And you can see some of the kind of events, what we try to do with our foreigner students. We try to not only give you the studies and knowledge, we try to learn from you. So we always try to organize cultural days where you could dress up in your traditional clothes and maybe you can dance or sing or show something we don't know about you. We could organize movie days of your specific movies. You could advise us. We could organize cultural food days where you cook something like from your country, like different countries represent their own culture. And at the same, we cook something from ourselves. So we get to know each other better. We can talk, chit chat, and understand what kind of different communication is better, because sometimes because of lack of knowledge, we misunderstand each other. And when situation between different countries come into force, which we try to avoid, and we always try to better understand different cultures, to simply have very good communication with our foreigner students. I'm not sure if I missed on mentioning something about us and Lithuania. If I did, I think you have lots of questions you could ask, and then I would answer. Thank you a lot.
Thank you so much, Inga.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, before I would open, take questions from the attendees, I have a few questions I need you to just help us clear. You said for Nigerian students, they need their WAEC results.
That's correct.
Then they need a 1-year post-secondary transcript.
That's correct.
So what does that translate to? Does that mean if a student just graduated from high school, the students cannot come in directly into Alytaus?
That's correct. It's not only about Alytaus, it's about all Lithuania, unfortunately, because like I mentioned, that SKVC process is very important and the rules are not directed by us. We receive rules from SKVC office. So basically they examine different education system in different countries. And if we find that it is too different from the way we learn in our schools, they impose certain rules. So after examining your educational system, they somehow decided that maybe your schools are easier than ours, or maybe students study less subjects or less hours, or I cannot comment much on that because I'm not the specialist who does that. But they decided that there are some really very big differences, and that's why that 1-year additional studies were imposed. The other reason is that you have certain strikes going on from now on, and some disturbances in educational system. That's the other reason we did that. So we cannot accept students if we don't have additional 1 year from accredited institution, either in Nigeria or abroad, but it has to be accredited. So we usually run checkup if university actually has accreditation, if it is recognized, if it is in your system too, according to the government, because we cannot take just anyone. We cannot accept students who have just online courses. For example, Coursera is very popular, but it is not recognized, so it does not match, does not meet the requirement. We also, let's say, cannot take students if we see that they had too many failures in the university. So when we receive those transcripts, why we ask for transcripts? We cannot look only at certificate. We have to see the transcripts, right? Transcripts means we will see what kind of credits did you take, like ECTS, what kind of how many failures did you have, and then take the decision. I personally like to just ask the student to ask their university to email a transcript to me from official email address, because as KBC anyways would check the authenticity, and they are very well aware how does the document look like and watermarks and everything they would be examining. We just preview, but ideally if a university sends the transcript directly, it gives more kind of trust to us that it's real document. And that's where legalization comes. If it has apostille, then again, it means like kind of it gives more value, more strength to that document. It means that, yeah, for sure, you know, university is there and it's like real document, because when taking students, a lot of students from abroad, some of the documents will be falsified for sure. As universities, we sometimes might make mistake, because we are not like professionals to run the checkup of the documents, but the SKVC is that body which actually runs all that deep checkup. So if they find out that it is not authentic anyways, they will not allow to study. So that's why that SKVC is there, and that's why we cannot accept students without SKVC decision.
Yeah, okay, I get you. So my own I just need to find exactly what will qualify. So if a student in Nigeria already enrolled in a university, and that student has done like a year or 2 years and does not have a degree yet, so he has not graduated, can that student use the 1 year of university education, you know, that transcript, to get admission into Lithuania?
Yes, he can. If he does not have, but he actually completed 1 year and he can provide transcripts, he can actually, he's applicable. Also, for example, we don't have, but we are planning to start foundation course, because we know that many Nigerian students simply cannot come because they don't have that 1 year. And it would make it easier for them if we start foundation course. Foundation course means that they study additional 1 year with us, like preparation course for the studies in Lithuania. And then they would not have to have that 1 year. They could kind of come to Lithuania for that preparation course for 1 year, complete that course, and then get admission into bachelor degree studies. We have not decided if it would be attached only to our university, or if we could simply do a foundation course and later apply with any university they want, because there is such possibility. So there is a university in Lithuania which has foundation course already, and students can then apply with that university if they want. They can try, they can run that foundation course with them, and then decide if they want to go for bachelor degree studies with them or any other university. So there is one of the option.
Okay, awesome. You said Lithuania is beside Poland and Germany. So
Very close.
So very close, you know. So my question is, the whole of EU students they have mobility. You can move from one part of EU to another. How easy will it be when a student graduates from your school? How easy will it be for them to get employment into other EU countries?
That's a very good question, actually.
Yes.
Okay, so after graduation, we get like 1 year stay, post graduation stay in Lithuania, during which we can look for job. So this means that they can look for job not only in Lithuania, but anywhere in, let's say, European Union or Schengen zone. If we get job in different country in Europe, then anyways, the procedure is such that that company has to fix the documents for them, because he's changing the country, and every country has like kind of residency permit, different residency permits. So even if he has temporary residency permit with us, but he gets job in different country, the company will have to do the migration process and fix all the documents for him.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
So back to the Nigerian students also, do you have an acceptable study gap? So if a student finished high school or whatever degree he has,
Mhm.
at how many years interval can you give admission?
Mhm.
If
So
there's
we
not
we
that.
don't have anything like that for us. Any
Okay.
student can apply at any point of time. Actually, policy of Lithuania is such that anyone can study at any point of time. So we have some kind of, not with our university, but even in our university, we had people like above 60 studying and graduating from bachelor because we wanted. So Lithuania ideally says that anyone can study at any point of time. But when it comes to, let's say, foreigner students, it all comes to visa, very honestly, because we as university, we cannot discriminate students based on age, for example, or nationality, or when did he complete the studies. We cannot. We just look at the grades, basically, and authenticity of the documents. But when it comes to visa, we noticed that if the student is above 33, let's say, then there is a higher chance to get visa rejection. We cannot influence visa rejection, like grant or rejection. Unfortunately, it does not depend on us. We can only give supporting documents, but that's speaking from our own experience, especially if it is business management students, like mentioned before. So I would say that if you see a student 33 plus, there is a doubt, let's say, about visa grant. There is a doubt. Usually we try to inform, we say to student right up front that you might not receive visa. Do you actually want to proceed? Because he has to pay application fee. It's 100 euro. It's not refundable. And we know from experience that it might happen. So if the student still wants to give it a try, we are happy to go ahead. If no, then we simply don't process the documents. So that's
Okay.
how it is.
Okay, great. So we get quite a number of inquiries from students who want to start a second career. So probably these students studied accountancy, and then the student wants to go into nursing. So if I get like a 30-year-old or a 32-year-old who wants to start a new career in nursing, would that be okay?
Yes, that would be fine. The only thing for them is actually that we look at the subjects. So there is a requirement, for example, by SKBC2, that we must have at least 6 subjects recorded on their VIACO. Ideally, we want to see that not less than C6 or C5 passing grades, but we do give positive replies even if some grades are lower. From our side, we want to see mathematics, English, and if it is nursing, then biology. So those are our requirements. That's what we are looking at when looking at the documents. So for us, like if he's changing the career, it's fine. It's not an issue. With Nigerians, there's no such requirement that we cannot change career or we have to study only according to specific field. For example, Cameroonians or Nepalese, they cannot enter different field if they have specific profile. So fortunately, Nigerians don't have such requirements, and they can go into different field.
Okay, good. The question about Erasmus. So the Erasmus program is the one that allow a student from your school to go to a partner. Hello, Inga, are you still here?
I am. Yes,
Okay.
I just stopped sharing. I'm sorry. I just saw that
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Doesn't point
I
off.
forgot to remove the screen.
Okay, fine. So this Erasmus program, at what stage in the program can a student go? So there are two. The student can go for internship in a company. The student can go for an exchange program in another country.
Yes.
So at what stage? Say, for example, the student is doing IT. So how does that come in? Yes.
Yes. So we try not to send students during the first year. Why? Because we need to get some theoretical knowledge. And before going on any practice, they need to be equipped with some theory, right? So ideally, we try not to send, and after we complete first year, we say you can start your internship. You can go for your studies. So the best, like again, speaking about the final year, we say that don't go during the last semester because you have to focus on your final thesis. And it's really complicated to, do everything during last semester. So the best time is actually during the second year and the second year. So it would be like third, fourth semester and fifth semester. But there's no like specific rules, but just that we try not to send during the first year and then during the last semester. During the rest of the times we can go. So for example, we have deadlines for applications. We announced the deadline. So if we want to go in February, let's say, universities will have different deadlines too. So if we want to go, let's say in February, they have to submit documents early around October, November. So we prepare all the documents and all the finances. If we want to go for internships, usually they go for internship during the break after exams. So in between, let's say, January and February, before the second session starts, or during the summer, when it's like holiday time from university too. So for internships, they will go off the study period during some holidays. If it is study, then it would be like, depends which semester do they choose. There is only one rule actually that if we apply for February intake, then we can go only for one semester. But if we apply for September, then we can spend basically the whole year abroad, 10 months.
Okay. So I want to take a few of the questions that have been sent to you via the chat. So how many intakes do you have in a year? Is it just September or you have multiple intakes?
We had 2 intakes, but this was the first year we did not have February intake due to COVID and all global situation. We simply decided that we should stop February intake and see how many students are able to come. The decision was taken just because, everything was blocked and frozen, and we had really small students getting visa and coming, and we decided that financially it was not feasible for us. Now, since everything opened, we will see how many of them will actually get visas in autumn, and if everything is fine, we will open February again. But right now it's September.
So for now, for Nigerians, September is not possible. This is already June.
It is June. They can still apply, but then we have to be very, very fast with all the documents, extremely fast, because we can accept, but the question is if they would receive a SKVC decision on time and visa. The biggest issue for Nigerians is receiving visa appointment.
Okay.
So what we see that, for example, right now it's a peak time and it's really difficult to book appointment. So it's not like submitting the document, but booking the appointment, because you have to do it via VFS services and Lagos and Abuja, and for some reason they do not have appointments. So that's where we are also worried. How will it be with the visas? The option our embassy in Turkey gave is to fly to Turkey and submit documents in VFS services in Turkey for those who can, because it's extra cost. But let's say some of them say that we get appointments only in August right now. So it's that's why I always say that do it fast, it's better to submit applications early and just start the migration procedure, because it's the biggest issue is that booking visa appointment.
Okay, thank you. So for the visa, what are the financial documents that needs to be provided? So how much does the student need to show in the bank account?
Yes, so the amount slightly changes every semester, let's say. It depends on the minimum wages of the country. So for example, right now it is 4,380 euros per year, which we have to show. The minimum wages in Lithuania right now is 730 euros per month, which means that students need to show half of it. And they have to show 12 months. So you count like 365 euros for 12 months, and it comes to 4,380. I would say little more is always better than less, because if it is less in the bank statement, when they say that he does not have enough of financial funds to study and reject visa. If there is any change by government, then we inform our students, but ideally you will see the amount mentioned, and like the very bottom of conditional offer letter, we mention how much he needs to have.
Okay, thank you. So do you also accept IGCSE in addition to GCE, NECO, and WAEC?
Now, okay, the requirements for Nigeria are WAECO and NECO, which we need to see. However, if it is international baccalaureate, then it is accepted. So if it is IB school, we accept. If it is Cambridge board, I think ideally we should be able to accept. If we can show, you know, all the levels, like for example, if it is IB, we need to see, okay, we need to see O levels and A levels. And IB, if it is exactly IB, then just final baccalaureate, yes. But we did not have such case with such documents from Nigeria at the moment.
Okay, okay. Apart from the bachelor's program, do you have short courses for IT? Can somebody come in to do a short course? Do you have that?
Not right now, not at the moment. We don't have.
Okay. I see here someone is asking for masters. So the answer to that is that this school at this time does not run postgraduate programs. It's just a bachelor's.
Yes, that's correct.
Someone also asked about medicine. I know that you don't run you don't have medicine, you have nursing.
Nursing, yes, general practice nursing only. For medicine, specifically doctors, you have to look into Vilnius and Kaunas universities because it's a very different field. Studies of medicine are very long in Lithuania, very good studies, extremely good studies, but you have to prepare to study really, really hard, like at least 7 years. So we do not run that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Inga. So
welcome.
I need to just kind of wrap this up. For everyone present, so EduThrive is in partnership with Alytaus Kolegia, and we are their recruitment partner in Nigeria. So if you want to, you know, get more information or you want to apply, then you need to be talking to us.
That's correct.
You can send in all your inquiries to apply to this email address, apply@eduthrive.org. I already dropped it in the chat box. You can also call. You can call us. I'm going to also drop this number shortly on the chat box. So our website is there for all the other information. If you need to book a call to speak with a study abroad advisor, all the information you need is there. So we are here to serve you. Victor, please also drop the phone numbers and drop the website, drop the where they can book a call to speak with the consultant. Drop all those information. So we will be the one to help you with your admission process and everything like that. So Inga, before I release you, can you tell us what is your own role in the visa process? What do you do?
Yes, for sure. So you will not be able to receive visa without us issuing specific documents. So we do not have to give you any kind of paper except of acceptance letter, which is to be issued only after you have received positive SKVC reply and pay the tuition and accommodation fees. Why you have to do that? Because we have to tick in that specific form online that you have paid. And in some cases, we might ask you to show the slips of payment that you have actually transferred the tuition fees and accommodation fees. So once we issue acceptance letter, it contains mediation number. Mediation number is something which migration officials check online and can track your application. So according to that mediation number, we are sure that you're actually applying with us. So that is one document which we will give to you specifically. The rest, like mediation letter itself, will be filled by us online, providing all your details. We upload your passport document, your other details, and write down where exactly are you applying, are you receiving scholarship or no, and so on and so forth. So without us filling that kind of form online, you cannot receive visa. So that would be our kind of main role. Of course, we try to communicate with our embassy if the visa is stuck somewhere, if you're not receiving answer for a long time. We always get in contact. We try to ask them to check the documents faster if possible. Of course, we do not have direct influence on that, but we try to help as much as possible in terms of decision receiving, not specifically influencing the decision, but receiving decision ASAP. That would be our part in terms of visa. Also, of course, we will give you all the guidance. What documents exactly do you need to prepare? How much of finances to show? We will organize pre-interview Zoom call with you just to give you some kind of, possible questions we might ask and just guide you what kind of answer should you give, just to look more confident and not to say something which might, trigger negative decision of visa. So that is also something which we do. The biggest task for you is actually to book the appointment and give me the date of that appointment, because that mediation number is valid only for 1 month since the date of issuance. So we cannot issue acceptance letter before you tell us the date of booking, because by the time you go there, maybe it would expire, and then again, it would trigger negative response. So that's why always it depends on you. When exactly do you get booking date? And then we count that time and we issue acceptance letter. So it would be actually valid by the time you go to the VFS services.
Okay, thank you so much, Inga. It's been a very interesting and educative session. And I hope we will be able to get you some students.
I hope so too. We're actually looking for, we have our Nigerian students. We keep on asking, is anyone coming from Nigeria? Is anyone coming? Yes, we are missing Nigerian students. We have very good Nigerian students, really adorable. And we want to have more of them, especially this type of students we have now. So we have Nigerian girl who just delivered a baby. So wow. There's also something unexpected to us, but which does not usually happen. But we are very, very happy. So we will have a family also, maybe a future student also.
That is good. Yes. Yeah, so we will do, after this session now, we will disseminate the information and hopefully we would get some people that will be ready to say, yeah, let's do this. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for organizing it once again. If you have any questions, if any students have too many questions, let's say complicated questions, we can always organize this, even one-on-one session, like with you only and that student, or again, the group of students to clear that too.
Okay, awesome. So thank you. I will definitely be in touch with you.
Sure. Have a good day, and yeah, let's keep in touch. Best of luck with students.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you so much, everybody that joined the session. I hope we were able to answer all your questions. If you still have questions, please send emails to the email addresses or book the call, or just reach out to us. We are always at your service. So this is EduSRISE. We make international education possible and affordable for you. So thank you, and we will come your way again very soon. Enjoy the
you.
rest.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.